I promised y'all I would upload that episode about the Steeple people, how it's a criminal cult, how them being involved in politics and us coddling them within our culture is how we got here and how they're really a group for the worst of the worst people. But I want to highlight it with stuff that's going on in my town, in Temecula. This is a place where the people who can't afford a house in Triple K country, Huntington Beach, they come here where they can afford something, and then they pretend they're affluent because they have a house here, and houses in California are $1 million even if it's a POS. So it's a town that's filled with veterans, retired people, blue bacon, a lot of red bacon, and it's very, very hick. Okay, and this is a place where there is a religious private school on every fucking corner, and these people still need to infiltrate the public school board to make sure that the public school is also forced to follow their conservative agendas and their faith. And it's like, if it was so wonderful, you wouldn't have to indoctrinate people. If it was so wonderful, you wouldn't have to lie, cheat, steal, and infiltrate city council seats and school boards in order to make rules to force people to do things against their will. If the deity itself is not willing to force humans against their will, then what makes you think you have authority over the deity to demand that people obey? Indoctrination is required, and they flipped language. That's all they do is flip language. So now if you say anything that isn't centrally focused on their belief system, they consider indoctrination. So if you don't force your children to learn from their archaic book, you are indoctrinating because you didn't do what they wanted. Everything they say is backwards. When they came out with CRT, and I was like, great, here we go. Here are the new N-words for the religious folks who are just finding new ways to say slurs. And so now it's CRT and DEI, you know? Those people ran, Komrosky, Wiersma, all the people backed by 412, which is Tim Thompson, Jack Hibbs, etc. They all basically ran on a platform of hate and got into seats based on, give us your support because we're white. That was their whole platform. And the addicts and winos of Temecula and the Steeple people who are fed nothing but hate and fear said, yeah, that sounds good. Whites only is the only thing we need. And it's echoed in the house that's white right now, right? I told you they're in cahoots with the same thing. So they're in a small little family town. The brother of the pastor is a convicted, attraction to persons under 3. And it's just mind boggling that they're the main ones that want to spend their money putting people into seats and forcing the taxpayers of Temecula to not only fund their conservative agenda, little field trips and bullshits, and no, we need to spend another $100,000 to make sure CRT is not in the school. We did that 2 years ago, and it wasn't. We're spending money again to do the same thing. They don't even care that they're wasting taxpayer money. You should see this. Okay, on the national level, what are they doing? Wasting taxpayer funds massively, not doing anything to help the people, just finding ways that they can pocket our money. That's them. Okay, that's them everywhere. Everywhere you see one of them, that's what they're about. What can I do for me? How can I line my pockets? How can I be cruel to people? How can I have control and force people to do what I want? Anyone who wants power shouldn't have it, and those people are power hungry. All right. I keep telling it to folks who ask me why I'm not running for anything. I'm like, I don't want power. I don't want authority. I like it over here where I don't actually have to have meetings and sit and listen to these wahoos, because I would be like Ms. Crockett. As soon as some Mayo dude is running his mouth about how he's superior just because he exists, me and Ms. Crockett will be looking at each other like, bet. All right. Let's go in. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I said it, and now that didn't help my argument for why I don't want to run. But my point is, the people who want it, the people who feel like they should be in control because are the ones who shouldn't have it. And in Temecula, they're doing the same thing they always do. So I'm going to upload that podcast episode about how they are literally just a CULT for criminals and criminal behavior, and they are the worst people. Not talking about spiritual belief people and personal faith. I'm talking about institutionalized shit. All right, the people that are trying to force their wonderful faith on everyone by force. If it was so wonderful, you wouldn't have to force anyone. We would all be begging for it. You would be turning people away from your exclusive club if it was that great. The fact that you have to rope them in and drag them and force them in tells us everything we need to know. Okay, all right.